Hello and welcome to the Front End Horse live stream. Everyone, it is Amit Sheen again. I am thrilled to have you back, my friend. How you doing?
Thank you. I'm doing great. Happy to be here. Always exciting to be here. Yeah, everything's great.
Awesome. I mean, you demanded to be on Valentine's Day. And I said, Amit, we don't do shows on Valentine's Day. And I'm like, can we do the next day after? And I'm like, all right. So no, I'm completely kidding. But
Okay. Yeah.
happy Valentine's Day to everyone.
Happy Valentine's. Yeah.
Sorry we couldn't be with you yesterday. Mondays are always tough to stream, but Amit and I are here now for a slightly delayed Valentine's gift to everyone. Our topic isn't very romantic, but it depends on just how you take it. Maybe you can make your version of this red and have hearts around it. So, but it's going to be really exciting. Yeah, you're going to say something?
No, it's a great idea. Make yourself red.
Maybe you can pull it
Your
off.
version red and.
Yeah. I was typing in chat. I was talking with Amit, and we I saw the timer was out. Cynthia, thank you so much for the sub. It's always wonderful to see you here. Hope classes are going great. Full Stack Future, welcome. Aloha to you as well. Great to have you in here. Ishan, thank you for the bits. Really appreciate that. My gosh, we are getting a hype train going. We are up there. 69%. Nice. Peruvian Idol. Great to see you as always, Mike, Lars, Adrian. Thank you for the sub. Really appreciate it. It's been wonderful 4 months having you here. Isha with 100 more bits. Phenomenal. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much. Chat, it's already... People go wild when you're on, Amit. And I think it is fair.
Yeah, I bring it out of people. It's what happened.
Your relentless energy, I think, is what it is. Just like, I'm pumped to have you. For those in the chat who might not know you, would you like to give a brief introduction and just kind of introduce yourself? Say hi.
Yeah. So, this is my website. My name is Amit. I'm a web developer. I've been writing code my entire life. Done a lot of things, but always focused on the front end. I am very passionate about the front end. My main focus is on CSS, animations, perspective, creative coding. I'd like to push the limits of CSS, try out new things. So you probably saw, if you're dealing with CSS, you probably saw some of my animations in places like CSS Tricks and CSS Weekly and so on. And also here on front end. This is my third time. I'm so happy to be here.
It's wonderful to have you back. Cynthia with the bits now. And Mike, thank you for that gift sub. My gosh, you're all phenomenal. We're at a level 2 hype train already. Amit, this is wild.
Yeah.
You just bring it out, and everyone, like, honestly, look at these animations, chat. This
is actually one of my favorite. Yeah. So it actually started just by trying to see what can we do with CSS, and I actually try to look for things that like this is a good example of people told me no, you can't do it with CSS, and I don't like to hear you can't do it. So yeah, so I've done a lot of those examples, and if you walk through my code pen or my Twitter, you can see like periods of times that I explored other certain things. Like in the last couple of code pens, I really like to explore specific movement. We're actually going to talk about it today, like movement of something that actually looks real, like the stickman I've done, or the claw. I don't know if you remember it.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
If you look at the
you are so prolific. It's hard to keep up with all the things that you make. But yeah, so this is what inspired what we're going to be talking about today, right? This animation. right here.
So it actually started. I've done. I'm once a year. I'm hosting the Global Game Jam. I don't know if you know it. It's the biggest game hackathon in the world.
Oh, awesome.
It happens every year in the last week of January. So one day when we actually were preparing to the event, I've spoke with one of my friends that is a game designer, and we talked about rigs and the difference between rigs and skeletons and so on. And I told him I need to build a rig with CSS, and he says like, yeah, do it. Like, he said like, you're not going to do it, but I did it.
Right.
And you can see that it's also animated. You can have a walk animation and a run animation, and and once you have those animations, you can actually do anything you want. Just because it's a skeleton. You have joints and you have bones. Just move them anywhere you want. This is the walk and run animation is just like a proof of concept.
Yeah.
And yes, obviously it is a CSS only. There's no CSS. When I say CSS only, I do mean SCSS only.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is
I mean,
the gist of the thing.
I think it's still fair because the browser is still compiling CSS only, right? Like it just makes
Yeah,
your job a bit easier. It takes up
yeah.
less time to
I
implement it.
mainly because I don't use like mixins or functions in these animations. I do sometimes, but mostly it's just for nesting and loops.
Got it.
So it's
Makes
just to
sense.
make the writing easier.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. So actually, when after I did this animation, or actually after I did the claw one, if you go to the lonely claw,
Yeah, that sounds
I
great.
really like this one.
Drop this one in
Yeah,
chat
so
too.
this is one I like to. I really thought about how to do it, to do something that looks. Well, actually, my inspiration was Audrey from Little Shop of Horror, if you
I
remember.
was about to say this feels like Little Shop of Horrors. I don't know if chat was Mitch Bones.
Well,
Thank you so much for the gifted sub. Really appreciate it. Yeah, like
420. Boom.
we're getting there. We're getting there. Yeah,
Yeah, so
Little Shop of
this was my
Horrors.
yeah. So the Audrey, the plan from Little Shop of Horror was like my inspiration when I did it. This was my where I wanted to go. And after I did it, we talked about doing something on stream, and I said, "Well, what about a stick horse? Because I've done a stick man, so
Yeah,
let's do a stick horse." And yeah, so this is the general topic for today,
I'm
I
excited.
think.
I'm very excited. So before we get started, I'm going to drop Amit's Twitter in there, and thank you again, Mitch, and everyone for the subs. Really, really helps. I really appreciate it. Yeah, and Cynthia, totally like fully support you teaching SCSS to your students. I think it still has a lot of use cases. Yeah, I wouldn't. I'm still writing it. I don't see regular CSS replacing it anytime soon for all of the different features that it has. But it does have. But CSS is catching up in some wonderful ways. But there's still plenty of need for
Well,
actual.
yeah, the nesting part is gonna come in. I hope pretty soon. But with SAS specifically with latest Dart SAS, so you have all those math functions and other things. CSS will be behind for the upcoming years, so SAS is still pretty important, I think.
Yeah. Yep, agreed. Awesome. So we have, I'm going to drop this in chat so they can kind of see it. Or actually, you know what? I'll drop yours that you just made public so that if people want to fork that as well, we're
The
just to let
the
chat
starter
know.
pen, yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
I'm going to drop this in, but chat, it's probably not going to be too beneficial to. Oh, continuing to gift us something out from Ed. Ishan, thank you so much for that sub. I think that was just a new sub. Either way, Ishan, thank you so much for the support. You are fantastic. So if you want to fork this, go for it. But we're not going to be like moving at a pace where it's going to be easy for you to like keep up by typing, right? So it's going to be more of a conceptual thing. But just wanted to provide that for
Well,
you in case you wanted to. It could be tough. So I
yeah,
just wanted
but
to.
maybe you can share maybe you can share your link and put it on and people can go into live mode and then they will see it live. I don't know,
Or
as they wish.
yeah, we'll figure
By the
something
way,
out. Yeah.
I called it I called it a horse CSS. Well, horse.
HORCSS. I love it. Steph's here. Good to see you, Steph. Cool.
Hello,
So
Steph.
where do we want to start? Should we look through what we've got here?
Yeah, so let's start with what we already have. So last time I was here, we built this 3D cannon, if you remember.
Yep.
So in a lot of what we see here, we already talked about specifically about the camera. So we have right up there on the top, we've got two buttons. That's the two arrows that you see on the side.
Cool.
And beneath that, there's two Ds: camera rotate left and camera rotate right. So both of them has an animation of rotating around the y-axis. So one goes clockwise, the other one goes counterclockwise, but they're both in pause mode, so they're not spinning. But when I click one of the buttons, if you go, I don't have this pen in front of me. Right there, line 83. So when one of these buttons is active, so the camera animation play state is running. So when you click on one, it turns right, and you click on the other, it turns left. You can actually click it right now, and you can see it. And I also added like lines in the background to increase the what we see. And there's like lines on the floor that you see rotating.
Yeah.
So this is just the basic the basic platform on which we're going to build our horse, because I wanted to focus on the horse itself and not on the environment. And regarding the horse itself, there's this is the floor in the background, but the horse itself, it's nothing. There's just a div called stick horse, and everything we build everything that we're going to build inside of this div.
Cool.
Well, actually, most of what we're going to build. So let's start. So the first step is building a horse rig. So a rig is a skeleton. It's not exactly a skeleton, but for our uses, a rig is a skeleton. It's built out of segments, just like bones, where each segment is connected to the one before that, just like real bones. Yeah.
See if
you can see the concept of rig comes from game design. So it's if you wanted to realize a good example of the difference between a rig and a skeleton, look at characters like Rayman, because you remember Rayman?
Oh yeah. Just bring it up for chat.
Yeah, so Rayman, for example, so look at his hands. So there is actually a bone there. There is actually a rig, only it's not a skeleton. There's nothing in there, but there is a connection of the movement.
Got it.
When you again, the entire concept of rigging of skeleton, that is one part is connected to the part behind it or on top of it. So it's actually very much like a dome structure, because in a dome structure we also have like one element that splits into two, and those splits on and so on. So it's actually going to be very easy to build the basic layout of the skeleton right here in the HTML.
So and I think I get what you're saying. So like for instance, so because there is the like tree structure to the DOM where like there's parents and children.
Like
it's the same thing as if like
if you look at like our skeleton, okay, so everything begins in the spine, and the spine is connected to the torso and the hip, and the hip also splits to both legs. The torso splits to the two arms. The neck is also connected to the spine.
Should we sing about it? We can sing.
I don't remember the words, but I remember the music.
You pretty much just said the word, so I think we're good. But sorry, just continue.
Yeah. Okay. So so let's just write it. So let's go inside the stick horse.
All right.
Unless you want to do something else.
No, that's great. That's great.
No. Okay. And as I said, let's start by building just a spine div, just dot spine.
Yeah, it makes more sense.
You don't use animating
web components for this one.
And inside the spine, we're going to do a few things. First of all, we have the neck. Okay, well, I'm going to start on top. And inside the neck, because we have, like, if this is the spine, we have the neck, and the head is connected to the neck. So the head is going to be inside the neck.
Got it. And it's there because you can't move the neck without moving the head, right? Like it's
exactly. And you can move the head, but when you move the head, it's relative to the neck, and when you move the neck, it's relative to the spine, to the body.
Got it. Cool.
Okay.
That makes a lot of sense.
And beneath the neck, let's go beneath the neck.
Okay.
We'll build let's say the arm. So we have an arm. And let's say like .arm.l, because we have arm left and arm right.
Like that?
Yeah. Top.
Okay.
Yeah.
It looks like a 1, but it's an L,
And
I promise you, chat.
yeah, it's an L.
Yeah.
And inside we have like the lower limb. I don't know how you want to call it. You can call it a shin or a lower limb or whatever you want.
Yeah, I guess Shin would make sense, right?
Yeah. And it's my name, so it's okay. Only spelled differently. And we have the same thing for all 4 legs. Like I have like 2 arms, 2 legs, or 4 legs, whatever you want.
Yeah.
So we need to copy it like 4 times.
Sounds good. I think we'll keep, I'd be like, Chad, I know arm is not technically what horses have, but I think for this purpose,
Yeah,
for like keeping it in your head, it's easier to do arms and legs than it is to do arm front left, arm front right, maybe, right? So it makes sense to
I
me.
I, I absolutely agree.
Cool. So I'm going to save that just to get some
Mm,
formatting.
just
Get some
on
more.
line 25, it should be leg right.
Thank you. Cool. All
And the
right.
last
Nice.
thing that you need to do, and here we're gonna, it's gonna be a bit weird, but we need a tail.
Right.
So and the tail is also connected directly to the spine. So beneath the leg, let's add a tail. And a tail, if you have seen like any animal tail, a horse's tail are a bit different, but for most animals, the tail is like connected from a lot of different segments. If you remember the claw that I made, so it's a lot of little segments that is one
Yeah.
nested inside the other. So inside the tail, let's have a div, just an empty div.
Okay.
And inside of that div, we're going to have an empty div. And inside of that div, you're going to have an empty div. Yeah, you got what I'm saying.
Yeah. There we go.
See, 2, 3, and one more. One more.
Cool.
That's it. So it will make more sense once we'll see it happen. Okay,
Okay.
so that's it. That is our skeleton HTML. And if you'll see the structure, specifically if you like open it in like dev tools, you can actually like open it up and you can actually see the structure that the skeleton, that the rig is built out of. So the next thing that we need to do
Cool. We can do
here.
this later. We don't need to look in there right now, but
Well,
I'm doing it anyway. Where
okay,
is
okay.
it? Where is it?
No, you're in the right place. Open the camera right,
Oh, it's
and
inside
then
the
the
cat.
stick
Oh, that
horse.
makes sense. So it's part of the
Yeah,
actual
because
scene.
yeah,
Got it.
yeah. So you
Cool.
see, this is the spine, and you can see the structure of the skeleton.
Nice. All right. Cool.
Cool. So now let's go and write some CSS.
All right.
And first thing we want to see it. So let's start with, obviously let's start with the spine.
Okay.
Let's put it right. No, let's put it on top. Well, actually, it doesn't matter. Whatever you want. I'm
Either
sorry.
way, do you want to put it somewhere
Yeah,
specific?
I normally my CSS is normally represent my HTML. So in the HTML,
Ah.
it's like above the background. So
Okay.
I would normally put it above the background, but
Cool.
wherever you want.
No, I'm
Yeah,
I'm learning from you, my friend. I don't want to bring my the way that I do stuff into it. That's a terrible idea. So spine here, just like that,
yeah, yeah.
or is there
And
a parent that we want to do instead? Do we want to do stick horse?
no
Is
no
that
no the
cool?
stickers, there is above it there is a div called a selector for the stick horse, and all it does is just give it a position of the absolute. That's it.
Cool.
I
Cool.
don't have anything else.
All right.
And
Perfect.
also everything inside of the stick horse, by the way, it's a good thing to say, everything inside of the stick horse is also defined as position absolute already.
Got it. Ah, that's what this does.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah. So it's just going to save you writing position absolute on each one, because every one of them will be position absolute. Obviously, we're doing animations. We want to control it. We want to control its position. So we're adding position absolute. This is
Cool.
just an easier way to do it.
Awesome.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's start with the spine. And first we want to see the spine. So let's give it a width of like 2 pixels just so we can see it. And the height, let's work with EM. So let's give it like a 12 EM height. Now, when I'm working with animation, I spoke about it before, EM is just a variable. And so the reason I do it is for later on, if I want to make the animation smaller or bigger, I just need to change the font size and everything changes accordingly. And
Got it.
one thing that you can do, if you like, I actually did it in the claw pen, so you can see it, that the font size is relative to the view to the VW to the viewport. So when you change the size of the viewport, you change the size of the font size, which changes the size of the entire animation. So
Got it.
you're absolutely responsive with just one line of code. Just work with the EM.
That's how this is
Okay,
happening?
you can see
The
here.
font size?
No, so here it's like the font size is 16px, but like instead of 16px, if you set it like to 1VW, for example, so now if you change the width of the screen, it will keep on the same ratio all the
So
time.
you would like fine tune that to make it work for everything. That's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, but for now let's leave it on 16px.
Works for me.
But this is the way, if you want it to work and to be responsive, this is just one method to do it.
Cool.
And let's give it a background color so we can see the spine of Dodger Blue.
You
okay.
know my color. This is nice. Okay.
Yeah, so this is the spine. So the top will be connected to the neck, the bottom will be connected to the legs and the tail.
Cool.
And we obviously want, but it's a horse, it's not a man, so we want to rotate it. So let's add a transform of rotate minus 90 degrees, because we want to turn it counterclockwise.
Cool.
And actually, before the rotate, I want to put it a bit higher. So let's give it a translate Y. Of like minus 6 EM, like half of the size. Yeah. So
nice.
Yeah, so this is our spine. Okay, this is very simple. The next thing that we want to do is, let's leave the neck and the tail for now, and let's do the arms and the legs. Okay,
cool.
I think it's going to be easier. But by the way, I'm not absolutely keeping track with the chat. I'm trying to, but if there are questions, so stop me. Okay?
Yes, and thank you for putting that out. Chat, let us know if you have any questions or any questions, suggestions, anything. We are happy to hear it. Happy to.
Mike actually had a great suggestion.
Yeah, I mean, I can absolutely just. It's funny. I'm looking at the camera and I can't figure out how to do it because I started to like tilt. If you want, I can just do that the rest of the show, and Amit can take over from here. If one person in chat says yes, then that's what's happening. Here we go. So arm. There's no doubting. Dang it. All right, here we Cool.
Yeah. Okay. So the arm, actually, the arm needs. First of all, it needs. Let's give it again so we can see it. The width of 2 pixels. We're gonna remove all the width later on because the skeleton, the rig itself, don't need to have a specific width. But for now, let's give the arm a width
just
of 2
so we
pixels.
can see it. Cool.
Yeah, and the height of. Are you with me?
Sorry, width 2 pixel and then height is 12 EM again?
No, let's do it like half. Let's do it like 6 EM.
Makes sense.
And the background color of whatever. Let's do a different color just so we can see it. Yeah. And we need to focus the arm. The arm should be the top of the arm should always be the top of the torso of the spine. So let's give it a bottom of 100%.
Cool.
So now it goes out. Yeah. Okay. And the last thing that we need to do, the transform origin needs to be the bottom, the joint between the spine and the arm is the bottom of the arm. So let's have a transition origin of bottom.
Of
bottom, yeah.
Button?
Because the bottom of the arm is the bottom of the arm is the joint because it's the top of the spine. So so now we can actually rotate it anywhere we want. So let's have it transform. Let's have it rotate on the z-axis, for example, like I don't know, minus 60 degrees. We want to rotate it down. And
nice.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay. And by the way, you can rotate it so you can see it on different angles. At 60, it's actually too much. Let's have like 80 degrees, minus 80 degrees.
Cool. And for chat, the transfer margin just kind of determines where on that line that we are like putting the axis and turning by, right? Is that how
Exactly.
you kind
So
of put it?
the connection, because the arm is set for bottom 100%. So the connection between the arm and the spine is the bottom of the spine, the bottom of the arm. Excuse me. That's why the transform origin should be the bottom.
Awesome.
But
Super quick.
actually,
There's
now
someone in
now
chat.
that we see it,
Hold on. We read. Welcome to the stream. Great to have you chatting here. It's very interesting. At the end of the project, I would try to open an Internet Explorer 6 to see the world explode.
do not, do not. Oh yeah. Oh, if the board, it might. It actually might.
We'll see. We're waiting to find out.
It most definitely wouldn't work. Yeah. So actually, the red line that we see now, it's the arm, but it's two arms, right? Because we have two elements with arm
Right.
class on it. So we need to different between them. So let's say beneath the transform, let's add end.l.
And
Yeah,
L.
not yeah. So actually, before that, in the transform, after the rotate, let's add another rotate. So the rotate that we see now, it's on the z-axis, okay, obviously, but we need to add. I want to spread the arms, and to spread the arms, it's the x-axis, because we turn it around, so it's the x-axis. So let's have a rotate on the x-axis, exactly. And we have two arms, both of them needs different values, so let's have a custom property.
Nice.
A variant of Rx. Rx,
Cool.
It's rotate X. Okay. So the left, we're going to give it as, it's on the left side, so we need like minus 20 degrees. And the right, it's going to be plus 20 degrees.
So let's copy paste this. Cool. And for chat, if you just got here, if you don't remember, basically each arm, which is like the front legs, right, has L and R. So we are targeting them specifically here. And look, it worked.
Yeah. Yeah, of course it worked. Why wouldn't you?
Because I'm typing on it. Because I'm typing. That's how this can go wrong.
Yeah. So I'm wondering if we should do the legs first or in the shins later, or the shins first. And let's do the legs first, okay?
Okay.
So actually, what we need to do is just copy the entire arm section. Copy it down, and just change the class for leg. And we're going to do just a bit of changes. What we need to change, first of all, is the bottom. Obviously, it's not 100%. It's 0% because I need it on the bottom.
Cool.
So it's 0%. And instead of minus 80 degrees on the rotate Z, because I wanted to turn to the other side, so it's instead of 10 degrees there, let's take the 10 degrees to the other side, so it's minus 100 degrees.
Got it. Okay, cool.
So nice. Yeah, now it's working. Okay, and now let's do both of the all four of the shins. So beneath the legs, actually you can copy the same thing, the same. Let's copy it.
Okay.
But you don't need the left and right and all of this, but let's copy it.
Right, that makes sense, because there's nothing in there, because it's just it's inheriting that position from the parent, so we don't need to specify anything about the shin.
We're actually going to do it. Yeah, just change this for the shin, and now the bottom actually needs to be 100% again.
Okay, so we're sliding it to the end. Oh, that's 1,000. Hang on. We're sliding it to the end of that stick. Nice. That's when the horse jumps, right? That's what's.
Yeah, but let's now the rotate Z. Let's give the rotate Z 0 degrees for now. Okay.
Sounds good.
We're gonna change it in a second, just so we can see it straight. But you can see that the RX is actually spreading the legs actually farther apart.
Yeah.
So we need to rotate it to the other side. So instead of var Rx, let's have a calc of Rx times -1. So now it changes to the other side. Yep. Times -1. No, times -1.
Okay. Makes a lot more sense.
So now I change I rotate the legs 20 degrees on one side and 20 degrees on the other side. Now it's straight. But I do
Nice.
want to rotate them on the z-axis also, because I want them to the shins to be straight. So like if I will put here like minus 10 degrees, for example, on the rotate z, uh,
Minus 10 here.
yeah, if I'll put minus 10, for example, yeah. So if the minus 10,
Oh, that's a 0. Sorry.
yeah. Okay, so if I will put minus 10, you can see that the front legs are okay, but the back legs are not. If I'll put 10 degrees, so the back legs
Right.
would be okay, and the front would be not. So what we're going to do is add another custom property.
Okay.
So let's have here inside the rotate z custom property of our z.
RZ.
Yeah.
Cool.
And in the let's go to the arms, and let's have like a general custom property of RZ that is minus 10 degrees, and in the legs it's going to be 10 degrees. You forgot the semicolon over there, I think.
Oh, thank you. And then 10. Great use of custom properties here. That's really, really clever to reduce some of the duplicated code. That's great. And there you go.
Yeah, there we go. So
Nice.
these are the legs, or at least this is the rig of the legs. It's
Yeah.
just the first step.
Awesome. Cynthia in
So
the chat says, I'm at one of my
yeah,
students. Oh, yeah.
no.
Sorry. They just discovered your about at your website, and it is love at first sight, all puns in honor of V-Day. Is there something fun? Oh, the about. Yeah, I want to pull that up super quick.
The bio, you actually commented on it like this week, I think.
The other day, yeah. It's so cool. So like Cynthia, I'm so glad that you brought that up, because like, okay, I'm sure lots of people have seen Chris Coyer's site and other sites that use this similar kind of thing of like the length, short, medium, long. I think Cassidy Williams has a similar thing, but I've never seen anyone else have it like this, where as you click the letters change out. Like, that's such a nice added touch that it's just so good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. And by
nice
the way,
touch.
if you want to see how we do it, I do believe in open code. If you right click on the inspect, you can go to the page.js on the network, and it's not minified. It's nothing. There is not the top, the page.js.
Got it.
Page.
Nice.
Yeah. So it's somewhere down there. It calls it names bio change or something, and it says everything that's going there. It's not this one. What
this
are you
looks
looking
like
at?
Google Tag. That might be Google Tag. It's in there. Sorry,
Yeah.
we don't have to. Oh, I love that you have different cursors for like errors and active and all that stuff. That's super clever too. Like,
yeah. Thank you.
Like I never noticed that the cursor changes when you're hovering over a link or something.
Yeah, I actually don't really
fun.
like those cursors. I want to change them, but never mind.
It's just really clever. I don't know. I think it's fun. And Ben is here. Ben Myers, great to see you. Wonderful.
I'm actually going to be on Ben Myers' Twitch exactly 1 month from now. Do not miss it.
Awesome. Let's do a quick. Ben, can you shout yourself out? Just the exclamation mark SO yourself. I'm going to ask you to do it, please. Awesome. And another Ben's here. We were just saying thanks to, or saying hi to Ben Myers, and Ben Han came. Ben, thank you so much for dropping off 13 wonderful people. This is excellent. Welcome
everybody.
in. Super quick, just to catch everyone up. Let's see. Amit. First off, our guest, Amit, is just wonderful at creating all kinds of super fun things. CSS master for sure. And today he is teaching us how to make a horse version, because this is front end horse. Welcome. And if you follow, which I think someone just did, you are now an honorary horse. Thank you so much for the follow. But Amit made this awesome, entirely CSS stickman. And so now we are making a horse version of this. You joined us just in time. Adrian, thank you for coming in. And Bella, you are now an honorary horse. Thank you so much for the follow. So yeah, this is what we're working on. We are making the rig right now. So just to catch you up, you can see this is our horse rig that we're going to be putting some meat on soon. And building out. It's going to be a lot of fun. Thank you so much for that raid, Ben. Great to have you.
That's it's a good way to describe it. We're going to add some meat on it.
Yeah, I'm going to add some meat on these bones soon. So
Yeah.
we just did the
So
chins.
let's we did the spine, the arms, the legs, and let's do let's start actually with the neck
Cool.
because the tail is going to be a bit weird. So the neck is, you can again copy the arm or the shin, whatever you want.
Cool. Thank you for the follow, Rishi. You are now an honorary horse. Great to have you. Cool.
Yeah. So this is exactly just instead of all of the rotate and the variables, let's have like just a rotate z of I don't know 70 degrees.
Okay.
No, 60, yeah, 70 degrees. Yep. And then let's copy it, and for the head,
All right.
exactly the same thing. And for the head, we're gonna do like a minus because we want to turn it to the other direction. So instead of 70, let's do minus 70, or actually let's do even more. It's minus 80 because we want it to drop a bit.
Cool. Awesome.
I prepared for this. I prepared for this stream by going to the horse ranch. I actually live right in front of the horse ranch, so I went to look at horses, seeing most of them like with their heads down. So this is the head, the neck, and the head.
You were out in the field sketching for hours yesterday, right? Just to get the shape exactly right.
I have. If you want to see what I sketch. I did sketch, but not horses. I sketched spiders.
Oh.
If you can see it.
Wow.
I
trigger
am
warning for anyone with arachnophobia.
Yeah, but I am working on a spider, kind of a spider version.
Oof.
Yeah,
Sounds
so
good.
let's do the tail.
Cool. All right. Tail. So we did head. We can copy this pretty much for tail. For chat wondering how this is working. It's all nested inside what it is attached to, right? So spine is the parent of all of these. Neck is a child of spine. Head is a child of neck, and so on. That's why we're able to use absolute positioning and slide things around. Did I copy head twice? Yeah. So tail now. And tail is a child of spine. So we're sliding it to the end, wrong side.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
0. Cool. I'm getting the hang of it. And we want to kill that rotation so that it's not confusing.
Yeah, let's do like a 160 degrees because we want to drop to the other side.
Cool.
And let's change the height because we want it to be smaller because, as I said, the tail is going to be built out of segments. So each segment should be smaller. So instead of 6 a.m., let's do like a 2 a.m.
Cool.
And now is where things are getting a bit weird. So inside of the tail, let's do end div.
Okay.
So what
and
the
space
end
div?
Yeah, and space div, exactly. Cool. So what it does, it selected all of the divs inside of the tail, not just the first one. Cool. If we'll add like a bigger than size before the div, so it will only select the first div.
Okay.
Am I
so
making myself clear? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so in this, so first of all of the divs beneath them should have the bottom again in 100% because we changed the tail bottom to 0%. So all of them needs to have a bottom of 100%.
Cool.
Exactly. And other than that, actually before that, let's add before the bottom 100% inside the div.
Cool.
Yeah, let's add all. Yep, inherit. So what it does, it just inherits all of the things inside of to all of the other divs, and now you can see this weird stuff.
Sorry, what?
What?
That's a
okay,
thing?
I'm gonna pause here.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, that's a. Oh no! Wait, it's gonna get even weirder. It's gonna get even weirder.
How have I never heard of this? There's just an all property?
Of course.
Chat. Am I the only one that just learned this? Am I the only one? How have I never used this? What? Okay, I mean,
This is why I'm making animations to learn CSS.
how have I not known this? I don't
But wait. I actually have a little extra addition. Okay, so
Okay, wow.
beneath this selector,
Okay.
beneath the end div, let's select the first div. So let's do an end bigger than div.
Oh, got it.
Okay, yeah, exactly. So this first div, let's give it a height of 80%. Now, what it does, it gives this div a height of 80% of the tail, and the div after that, 80% of that, and the div after that, 80% of that. So each one of them is getting a bit smaller. Okay?
That's really
And let's
clever.
add, yeah, thank
Because
you.
okay, so
And let's,
just to walk it through, like this is the one that we're targeting here, right? This is the only one that gets this property
exactly.
applied. But the next div gets the inherit, so it's taking 80% of its parent, and that takes 80% of its parent. Whoops. And wow, okay, that's cool. That's a cool one. Like that
Okay.
one, I
And
that makes sense. Yeah.
beneath the height, let's add a transform of rotate z, but not 160 degrees. Let's do like 20 degrees. And here you can now we can see the arch exactly because each one of them is 20 degrees. So like if you change it to like minus 20 degrees, for example,
It's gonna go. So each one
it,
is rotating 20 degrees, and then like attaching to its parent and rotating another 20 degrees. That's really neat. The all inherit is
yeah.
really
So
powerful in this with the inheritance. Wow.
thank you. Yeah, so it's not me. It's the guys from CSS. I'm just doing the code. They're the
That's
ones
cool.
that thought about it. Yeah, so you can see now that when you change the rotate, this each of the segments rotate the same. So you can actually now understand how the animation is going to work. Just going to rotate this rotate z. But let's put it back on 20 for now because
All right,
I think
cool.
the tail should be more down.
Awesome. And welcome in,
Yeah,
Andre.
so
Good to see you.
this hello Andre. Yeah, so this is the rig. This is all of the parts, and now we can see it. And yeah, we can rotate and you can look at it in every direction. And the next step is actually, as you said, so beautifully put it, let's put some meat on it.
Yeah. We got a nice rig set up for
So
animation. Now we want to flush it out, right?
yeah, because actually now we can animate. We can actually move each one of the part. Each one of the parts is already connected to the one on top of it, to its parent, and there's always the joints is already defined.
Cool.
So yeah, when we get to the animation and we start moving those parts, you would see it better. But first, let's add the volume, the meat, and I actually thought about a lot of ways how would be best way to do it. But I think if you go back to the stickman, I think you could understand what I've done there. Uh,
Yeah.
Take a look at the feet at the bottom of the feet. Just turn it a bit around. Just turn it like when you're facing it.
Yeah. Yeah. You can see it
Yeah, so
there.
you can
That's
see. Yeah, so it's just a bunch of divs that is just rotating around the center. Maybe what is this?
I just wanted to.
This is new.
Sorry.
No, I never knew that you could do it. Yeah, so this is the general idea. So the way we did, we're just going to take like 6 divs. Oh, not divs. I actually done it with the eyes, just because.
Okay.
Um, so let's start with the spine, and we'll do it with the spine, and then we'll get to the others. And because once you do it in one, it's just copy paste. So inside of the spine, right above the neck, yeah, let's press I times 6 tab
Cool.
exactly, and let's go back to the CSS. Actually, it would be better for readability if you just put them all in one line, but
Let's do that. Like
uh,
this. That
no, I
view.
meant all of the eyes in
Ah.
one line. Just
I think I'm getting formatted is what's happening. So that's just gonna keep coming
okay,
back.
yeah, so forget about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, do you like this view better?
Oh,
I
I
like
thought this is
when
what
I
you meant.
work.
Sorry.
No,
That's what I thought
when
you
I
meant to
work,
see
I
both at the
can't
same
work like
time.
that.
I do not like that view better.
Yeah,
No.
yeah. So let's put the eye let's put the eye on top of everything because we're going to change it later on for specific elements. So
Okay.
let's right here above the spine.
Cool.
Let's do an eye selector, and the eye selector. what it needs to have, first of all, it needs a width and a height. Let's do the width of 1 em, and the height it's obviously 100%, right? And
Okay.
again, just so we can see it, let's give it a background color of like a dark color, like a dark gray or anything like that. Yeah, it's amazing. So now we can see it. Great. And actually, so because of the spine width, the 2 pixel actually puts us off right now. So let's take off the two pixels from the spine. Exactly.
Cool.
Delete it. Yeah. And we do need to move the spine, because right now the spine is in the left position of the eye is in the left position of the spine. So let's give it a left of minus 0.5 em, right?
Yeah, because its width is 1.
So now, so now it's in the middle. The middle of the eye is the spine itself. Okay.
Cool.
But I do want to make one more thing. I want to stretch it like half a em on either side, because before that, let's give it a border radius of
Cool.
0.5 em. So that's why you'll understand. That's why you'll understand better. So if I have two connectors and they're touching each other, when it moves, it doesn't look very well, and I want to merge them together. So I want to move it like half em all in each direction. So to do it, let's give the height. Let's give it a calc of 100% plus 1 em.
Cool.
And the top. Yep,
top?
Exactly. And the top, we need to move it again minus 0.5 em. So now when you look at it,
nice.
Yeah.
And Ben, I completely agree. Ben says, I love seeing sorcery and witchcraft in action like this. It's really cool, like to see it, because
actually, but when you break it down, it stopped looking like sorcery and witchcraft, because it's like, oh, it's just code. It's easier.
Seeing the end result is just like, I don't even know where I'd start. But now it's like, okay, this is making sense.
Yeah. So the last thing that we need to do inside of this eye is to rotate it around itself, but we need to rotate each one of them a bit different. So let's have a transform. And the transform, obviously, we are rotating around the y-axis. Again, it's because it's rotating, so it's around the y-axis.
Okay.
So let's have rotate y, and we are gonna have a custom variable of you already know what I'm doing.
I'm trying to keep up.
Of our y, and then in order to give each one of these eyes a different value, let's do a loop. Cool. That's why I talked about earlier that the reason I'm using SAS is exactly for that. So let's have a for loop.
Outside the eye or in
No, inside the eye. Cool. Right here. Or
how do you do those? I always have to look these up because I do them so rarely.
At for I $sign I from 0 to 6. Exactly. And open from 0 to 6. Because we have 6, we put 6 divs, right?
Yes.
6 eyes.
Yes, we definitely did. Yeah. TG, thank you for the follow.
And here, let's say nth child.
Hold on one sec. Ben, do you have that one? Just checking. You said nth child. Thank you, Ben. Appreciate you. You said nth child. You said.
Yeah, and exactly. Nth child, and in here we'll do like a hashtag of I plus 1. Not hashtag, $sign plus 1.
Cool.
$sign. Yeah. I think that you do need to put them inside of like hashtag and curly braces. The $sign plus 1. I don't know. I think so.
Like this.
Yeah.
And
exactly.
the plus 1. Cool.
Yeah, exactly. And then let's open the curly braces after that. And inside of that, let's do the RY. Let's give the value. So what we're doing here, let's just break it down. We have a loop that runs 6 times. Each time it selects a different nth child. So nth child 1, nth child 2, and so on. And we're going to give each one of them a different RY value. So again, let's do a hashtag curly braces. And inside, we're going to do 180 degrees because I don't want a full rotation because it's like if I do 180 degrees, it backs to itself. So it's 180 degrees divided by 6 times $I.
Cool.
And if we didn't make any mistakes,
there you go. If you look at it like straight on, you see.
But later on we will have the legs and things from the other side, so you won't see it. All you see is the body itself.
No, it's perfect.
But this is the general idea. And now you can go to the HTML and copy the line or these 6 divs and just now put them inside the neck
and the head.
And now, but don't put them in the head. We're going to leave the head for the end because we're going to do something different with the head.
That makes sense.
But put him on the arms, on the legs, on the shins, on the tails.
I love how I love that this is so like generalized. You did like a really nice job of just making this a general thing that I can just drop it into everywhere and it just works. That's so cool.
That's the general idea. When you're doing when you have a good structure, then just you can put everything on top of this structure, and the structure will remain intact. So you can see that it's already starting to look like there's meat on it.
Yeah.
And on the tail, you actually need to do it. On each div, you need to add 6 eyes.
Got it.
Yeah. Cool, so here
and Ben, thank you again for that. Appreciate you handling that. Always get some spam from time to time. The nature of the internet. Nice. Look at this. I kind of missed it. Look at this.
Yeah. So, so cool. That actually looks kind of okay.
Yeah. That's really fun.
You know what? One more thing before we're gonna deal with the head, because we need to do something different with the head. Let's go back to the CSS, to the eye selector.
Okay.
And instead of just giving it a black color, let's give it a background image of a linear gradient.
Ooh.
And instead of linear gradient, and instead of 333, let's do like from 444 to 222. Hashtag 444, comma, hashtag 222, and it's just gonna give it, it's stale dark, but it will just give it like, do you see what I mean? Just the difference between those different parts.
Yeah.
So now let's go to the head, and if I go to the HTML and paste those 6 divs inside of the head,
where's the head? Did we not do the head yet?
But no. Let's go to the HTML first.
Okay, cool. Sorry.
Yeah. So, but here's the thing, because the head is gonna look a bit weird. So let's add, instead of 6, let's add 12 or even 18. I don't know, just a bit more divs because I want to make the head bigger, and if I want to make the head bigger, so the angles needs to have to be narrower.
Cool. You need more. Yeah, you just need more detail, or else you're going to get that a lot, right? It's going to be tricky. Cool.
So how much do you put in?
I added 12. I can add more if we need to.
Let's let's go wild. Let's do 24.
24.
Let's go wild.
Right, chat. Strap in. Yeah. Strap in, chat. This might not.
Yeah. Okay. Now let's go back to the. So. Oh, I have a lot of animations with a lot more divs.
Yeah.
So let's go to the head. Inside of the head selector, we're gonna do some changes to the eye inside of the head.
Okay.
If it makes sense.
Got it. Yes. So I like that, right? Cool. And I love the laser face thing from Adrian. That was pretty accurate. Sorry for getting to the joke late, but yeah, I completely agree. Guardians of the Galaxy taser face. Yeah. Do 1,000. For full K. David, not a bad idea. Let's make this the most accurate horse we
still need to move them, so not for now. So the first thing that we want to do, as I said, I want to make the head bigger. So let's make the width, or this is 6 EM, so let's make it a 4 EM. Okay? And
there we go.
And it's okay.
Dang.
And wait.
Yep.
And actually, we changed the width, so we need to change the left. So let's have the left instead of minus 0.5, minus 2 em. Okay, and we're going to do something like border radius, because right now the border radius is just 0.5. So let's have a border radius of 50%
Cool.
slash 60%, 60%. Hope I'm not mistaken. 40%, 40%.
Do you know slash is 40%, 40%?
No, yeah, 40%, 40%. Yeah, so remember, we're looking at everything because it's rotating. So it's 60%, 60%, 40%, 40%.
Yeah, the
Okay,
slashes
so
still melt my brain a little bit. I don't have a great mental model around the
so
slash part of
everything
border
before the
radius.
slash is on the x-axis. So the x-axis is always in the middle. Again, remember that it's laying down. Imagine that the head is up. Okay,
Got it.
so the on the x-axis is 50%, and it's always 50% on all four values. And on the y level, it starts on the top left corner, so it's 60%, 60%, 40%, 40%.
Got it.
I hope
Yeah.
I'm making sense.
I, I
Yeah.
I think so. I just have a tough time. And super quick, Adrian, thank you so much for the sub. Awesome to have you. Really appreciate that prime sub. Border radius slash thing. Yeah, so like I don't know if chat entirely knows the slash syntax. It doesn't come up a lot. Most border radiuses that like
You know
people
what?
use in the
There
wild are
is
just like
actually a
8
nice.
pixels.
There's actually a nice tool of creating border radius, which was created by, I don't remember the name, 9 Elements. I'll put the
Sounds really
link
cool.
in the chat.
Cool.
So you can actually create your own. Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird. Like, cause I mean, chat. Correct me if I'm wrong,
And you
but
can
like,
see
yeah,
the slash syntax in the beneath the blob.
right.
And by the way, the if you obviously know Adam Argyl's open props, so it actually it has blobs which
Yeah,
builds on top of this exact same concept.
got it. I haven't dug into the blobs yet. I didn't realize that. Oh, maybe I did. They were just like nice border radius things. But yeah, it's just always weird because I typically either like I think the fanciest I get usually is like specifying that just the top has a border radius and the bottom doesn't, right? So like using slashes is just always like I have to kind of pause and wrap my head around what's happening there. So thank you for explaining that. It's just like the two axes of border radius, and cool, and we get a nice result where it's got like a taper to it. It's like a bit
Yeah,
thicker in the
but we
back.
do need one more thing.
Yeah,
Let's copy the loop
cool.
from the I and copy it inside here,
Makes sense.
because instead of 6 we need to do 24 now. Up,
Awesome.
up, up.
Oh, I missed
No,
it.
no, top,
There we go.
up here,
There
here.
it is.
One.
Good eye.
So instead of
24.
624 and beneath, yep.
Cool.
So now when you rotate it, you will see that there is a lot more divs and the spaces are much more
Nice.
smaller.
That's really satisfying. It's
Again,
like
when you
blades.
look at it straight from the top, it's straightforward. It doesn't look amazing, but from the side, it looks
Yeah.
kind of good.
And just for chat, like the reason we're doing this because there's no like good way to make a sphere with just divs and CSS, right? Like there's no you do
Yeah,
some cool tricks on things like this
yeah, but
where yeah.
this I actually explored one of those topics that I explore is like how do you imitate a sphere, because you have to remember that CSS don't have the concept of depth. So everything that you need to do with flat items. So I've done a lot of spheres like made out of little elements, like 100 or something little triangles, and I made balls that are not balls, just circles, but using visual. How do you call it? Like you trick your mind to think that it is a ball,
Right.
but there is no way to actually create a real good
Like a
sphere,
true
specifically not
sphere.
one like that is not really round, not
Yeah.
100% round circle.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, that's
so
great.
that's I think that's the meat.
Cool.
I'm thinking of anything else beyond this stage.
No, I think for this is great.
No,
Yeah.
yeah. So So let's start moving things around.
All right, let's do it.
All right. So let's start. Let's start with the hands. Obviously,
Cool.
I think it's going to be the easiest part.
All right.
Um, and as we've seen earlier, the hands right now have two axes. There's the x-axis that spread them apart, and the z-axis that translate the movement back and forth. And you can actually go to the div, to the hands div, to the arms, excuse me, arms
Cool.
div, and like if you change the value of the z-axis, here we go. Like instead of minus 80, if you put it like in
This.
I don't know 30, you would see it move. You can look at it from the side. Uh, yeah, okay. So like this is minus 30, and if you put 130, so it would be a lot more like inside. Like oh, this is actually
I
way
did
more. So
negative, or I did positive. Maybe I
minus,
should do
yeah.
negative.
Yeah,
There we go.
yeah,
Cool,
that,
cool,
yeah.
cool.
That's what I was looking for. So this is roughly the movement between minus 30 degrees and minus 120 degrees of the front ends.
Okay.
So let's do an animation.
All right. Should I leave this at anything?
Yeah,
At
it doesn't matter
negative
because
80?
we're gonna move. You can actually comment it out. It doesn't really matter right now.
Because it's gonna take the animation.
Uh,
Cool.
yeah, because we're gonna animate it. So let's do an animation.
All right.
And let's call it arm for a second. Now, oh, actually, before that, let's add a variable of speed. And for the sake of no, you can leave it.
Just right here. Cool.
Let's put it outside. No. Actually, let's do a SAS variable because a lot of people ask me why do I use sometimes CSS variable and sometimes SAS variables.
Cool.
Like in this case, the speed variable, it's first of all it constant. It doesn't changes. It doesn't need to change over time or with anything. It doesn't depends on anything. And I'm gonna do a lot of math using this variable. So if I'm going to do a lot of math using this variable, it's actually easier if it's just a CSS variable.
Okay.
So let's do a $ speed, but not inside of arm, like outside, like really on top of everything actually.
Okay.
And let's make the speed like
Just here.
Yeah, here's great. Yeah.
Cool.
Let's start with 1 second. Come on, yeah. 1 second. Yeah. So now let's get back to the arm. Let's have an animation of arm. The speed would be the duration would be a speed. Maybe duration is better. Let's see. Speed, $ speed, and let's. I want the movement to be like ease in and out. So let's add ease in and out, and infinite because I want it to be. I don't want it to stop. And no, one last thing. I want to do it like I want to move it back and forth, so let's add an alternate.
Cool.
Yeah.
Because otherwise it
now
would snap back to the beginning and go again. Is that
exactly?
Cool.
Exactly. So let's now add keyframes of arm. Yeah. And let's do a from. You don't have to do a from and a to in these situations, but for readability purposes, I like to have through from animation to animation.
Cool.
So let's have a from, and the from, let's just inside the from, let's just copy the transform that you commented out.
Cool. All right, and welcome. Okay, I covered the whole thing. Welcome, Daniel. Good to have you. How's your day going? Cool. So we're just pasting that in there, right? Because that was kind of our from in a sense. That makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
And you can actually see this. Yeah. But let's have a 2.
Yeah. It's already fun. I'm already having a blast.
But okay, so let's say this is 30 degrees, and instead of minus 80, let's make it minus 120 degrees.
120 cool.
It's better. Yeah. So now we can see the movement of the front hands, but obviously, thank you. But obviously, we need a delay. So right up there in the animation, after this, between the speed and the ease in out, let's have a custom property of delay.
Got it. So var
delay, and give it a default value of 0 second. You have to do it here. Yeah. And beneath those keyframes, you already have the left and the right. So let's add into the right, yeah, here,
Here,
line
cool.
147. Let's have a delay, and now things getting tricky because I
Oh.
thought long and hard, how much is this delay in relation to the speed? So when you think about a horse, like close your eyes and try to hear a horse. What do you hear?
Like,
Okay, first of all, I hear coconuts.
yes.
And if you
Yes.
didn't understand this reference, go and see Monty Python.
You shouldn't be watching this stream. You have homework to do.
Yeah.
Please
So
go.
but remember, but listen to the rhythm. So it's so it's like it's four strokes, obviously, for four legs, and then there is a pause. And the pause, and I said I did field research, is actually equals to two pauses, to two strokes. So it's like six strokes loop, if it makes
Okay.
sense.
Okay.
So
I think
you
so.
can actually hear it. You can actually hear it if you play around.
That sounds realistic to me, honestly. That's a pretty solid drumming. That's
Thank you.
yeah.
I haven't drunk it over here.
Oh right, I forgot you were
Yeah,
you actually do drum. Yeah, I completely forgot
yeah.
about that. Yeah, I remember
Only as a hobby, but I do.
yeah.
So the delay, again, we have a six-stroke loop, but remember that the speed is only half of the loop. So each stroke, it's a speed divided by 3.
Okay.
Okay, great. Okay, if you're with me so far, so it's great. So the delay equals to a speed divided by 3. Let's do now.
Okay.
You have to add a hashtag and a
Wasn't sure.
yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Speed divided by 3. So
Cool.
this is a unit of a stroke, but we need to multiply it because I want to actually move it backwards. So let's multiply it by -5. Because if I multiply it by -6, nothing will happen. Okay. And if I multiply it by -5, now it's just one stroke behind. So the right leg is one stroke behind the left one.
This is so
Okay.
cool. This is just so cool.
Thank you. So this is the arms. Let's do the legs. And again, it's you can copy the entire thing, the animation and the keyframes. You can copy the animation and the keyframes from the
Yeah.
yeah, but you will need to change the name.
Makes sense. Oops, didn't mean to do that. Hold on. Try one more time. Cool. And then we need that same bit from here, the delay.
Well, actually, we need to add the delay to both of them because each the left arm don't have a delay, but all of them need to have a different delay. So we give okay, so here's the thing: the left arm doesn't have a delay. The right one has a -1. So the left leg needs to have -2. So it's minus. You need to divide it by -4, and the right leg you need to divide by -3.
Cool.
So now each leg, it's working
cadence.
now, but it doesn't look good. It doesn't look good. Why? Because we didn't animate the shin. So think about if I make this finger the shin. The leg. So when the leg moves forward, the shin actually moves backwards, and then it moves forward, and so this is the movement, right?
Yeah.
So the next thing that we're going to add is let's have an animation on the shin.
Cool. And yeah, Mike said it's a horse pendulum. I think that's perfect. And
yeah, for now, but
yeah.
For now, but trust me that we're gonna animate everything. We're gonna have the body, the tail, the neck, the head, everything. So let's add this one to the shin.
Cool. I grab that whole thing, bringing it down here. But we're gonna want a shin.
By the way,
yeah.
Yeah, and the nice thing, by the way, that the delay, a custom variable, trickles down. So each one of the shins has the same delay as the leg above it. But we're gonna deal with the delay in a second. Here, instead of -20 and -30, Actually, you know what? Let's go back to the legs. I think we need to change it from -20, from -30 to -60 in the legs, because the legs don't go as far front as the hands.
Uh,
Yeah, in line 164, 165, excuse me. Yeah, it needs to be -60 degrees. Yeah,
minus 60.
it.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So now let's get back to the shins.
Okay.
And in the shins, I want it when the arms is straight. I want it to be a zero. So the first part would be 0 degrees, like in one in yeah,
Cool.
and to up to minus almost to 90 degrees, like let's say -80 degrees.
Okay.
Okay. So now,
It's just
ooh,
floating in the air
something
now.
looks weird. What looks? It doesn't looks.
That's all good.
Oh, wait! You forgot the rotation. The rotate x needs to be a calc of x-1,
Of
like in 184. You can copy it from line 185. Excuse me.
cool. Okay, yeah. I haven't brought any of this over yet, so cool. I'll just copy
Yeah,
this part. Rotate X for both of them. That makes sense.
yeah, obviously.
Cool.
And but something does look a bit weird. I don't know why. It is not what I'm expected to see.
Is it that the timings are
Mm,
off? Because I mean, the delay isn't being updated. We're not updating the delay at all. I haven't brought any of this over because this is just on the R.
no, because it trickles down. You don't have to do it.
Okay.
Of course. Well, we do need to add. Okay, let's go back to the Sheen, and here in the delay, because the delay is a bit after. So let's have in line 187, where the custom property of the delay is. Let's have a calc. Yeah, here. Let's calc, and it's a var of a delay minus. Because it's a bit later, so let's have again curly braces and hashtag curly braces, and have a speed times just a bit over a quarter of a loop. So it's a 0.55, let's say.
Zero. Oh, so 0.55. Okay. So
So
okay.
now, okay, now we're starting to look what I'm expecting to see.
Wow.
Okay, now it doesn't look great yet, because all of the top part is
It's
still
static.
still static. So let's start moving the spine and the head and the neck, and trust me, but the legs, it looks kind of okay. If you think about it again, what happens, by the way, when a horse runs, it actually throws his front leg to the front, catches it, and then catch the back legs, and so on and so on. So this is actually imitating the general direction. But when I do animations, most of the time I'm just doing like rough numbers like this ones, and then I sit and fine tune those numbers, and this fine tuning part can take hours or days. We're not going to do it right
Makes
now,
sense.
but
Yeah.
we are going to do the general idea. But we do
Awesome.
want to animate the spine and all of the other things.
Cool.
So let's go and add animation to the spine.
All right. Scrolling up. There it is. Cool.
And yeah, and the spine and the spine. Um, Again, actually, it's the same speed. It doesn't have any delay. Obviously, easing out, infinite, alternate, the same concept. You can remove the delay, because you won't have a delay on the spine.
Cool. I liked the vertical horse there for a second. That was pretty entertaining.
And again, what we're animating is the rotate z. Excuse me, because right now the rotate z is on -90 degrees.
Right.
Yeah, but you should copy the translate y also.
Cool. Um,
Yeah.
so there and there, but we want to change it to
So
something else.
yeah, like instead of 90, let's like make it 93, and instead of do the other way around, because you first go to the front. So
Got it.
let's do the top 93, and the bottom one 87,
Okay.
to the other side. Okay, this is just the like when it gallops. Doesn't work. Why doesn't it work? Why doesn't it work?
I don't know. Spine.
No, speed. The
Oh,
variable speed.
got it.
Yeah.
Didn't have a
Okay.
duration.
Great. Let's go to the neck.
Oh,
Now it's
wow.
already
That
looking
just did
better.
so much. That's so funny. I didn't expect a
Um,
big, like, feeling change in
oh,
it, but that feels a lot
every
better.
when you add when you're working with animation, every little change goes a long way. Like now we're gonna work the neck, and we're going to work the head and the tail, and we're adding shadows, and every little thing just goes a long way.
Wow.
So let's go back to the neck. And by the way, you can copy the entire thing again. I'm sorry, there's a lot of copy pasting here.
All good. I love that, honestly. I love that when you can, if you can solve one problem well and apply that to 20 places, never apologize for that. I love that sort of thing where it's like we did this so well once that
Yeah.
we just get to do it, again. Like that's the big power behind using variables. I think I broke it.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
yep, broken.
Yeah, because you copy line
Yeah.
213. Yeah, exactly. And again, instead of 70, let's do let's keep 70 from in the two position, but let's change it to like 55 because I wanted to drop a bit more. And the now let's do the head. And I
Cool.
want to do something a bit weird with the head. Again, when I looked at on the people that it's riding the horse, they're not moving up and down. They're every time they're moving down, it's one time they're moving like a bit higher than the second time, because like it's like this position, this movement. It's make
Oh, so we can't have from two. We've got to have
Yeah. So
stages.
let's go to the head and add an animation to the head. But this time we're gonna have a speed divided by two.
Oh, okay.
So it
Uh,
would be a bit faster. And instead of minus 80, let's make it like from minus 100 to minus 70, for example.
cool. Let's like cut this, bring this over. It's the same, but oh well. You said minus what? Sorry.
From minus 100 to minus 70, for example.
Cool. And
Yeah,
Cynthia
so now
touched
you
on
can.
the galloping horse photos, like the one of the first, um, like
Yeah, I actually
interesting.
looked at them when I made the demo. Yeah, it was one of the first images ever taken, like of a galloping horse.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
the
so
images
you can.
that proved that horses leave the ground with all four feet when they run, just like because
Yeah,
otherwise it's too fast to tell. So they had to set up this whole thing to prove that. It's just really cool.
yeah. So do you see the movement of the head? I kind of like it.
Yeah.
And the last thing that we're gonna do.
Oh, okay. I see exactly what you mean now. So it's running the same animation at double speed is kind of what it's doing instead. Got it.
Yeah. So now the last
That's
thing that we're
cool.
gonna do, the last animation that we are gonna add, at least on the horse, is the tail.
Okay. So tail, here we are.
But wait. The tail, as you remember, actually combined from we have the tail and the divs inside of the tail.
Mm-hmm.
So let's start with the divs inside of the tail. And
Okay.
again, we only need to add the animation to the top div, and it's gonna trickle down.
All
Okay,
right. So it
if it
literally
make
inherits everything, like animations.
yeah,
It
all inherit.
got
That's
it.
what it means. It inherits
I
everything.
it's
So
just my
let's
first day on the job with all inherit, so I'm still learning. So I have everything in a spot. I don't know if I do. I think this is yeah, that had everything. Cool. All right.
okay. Uh, let's call it a tail of or like inner tail or whatever you want. And here we're gonna do something a bit weird. Actually, yeah, it's okay. First, the rotate Z needs to be 20 degrees on both of them,
Okay.
on the to and the from. And what I want to do is I want to animate everything right now is animating on the same axis, so I want to animate it on the sides.
Cool.
So
Okay.
let's add after each one of those rotate Z, let's add a rotate X, so we can animate on the rotate X, and let's add it from 5 degrees to minus 5 degrees.
Cool. It's a great touch.
Okay, and the last thing, because it's opening the wing, so it needs to be a bit faster. So again, let's do like speed divided by 2 or even divided by 3.
Okay. So that's gonna make it happen more times per second, right? Not
Exactly,
less,
because
because
the
I
speed
I,
because
I
the
think
speed is
divide,
less.
and I think it's reducing, but actually it's making it happen more often because
You
that's
are you're reducing the duration, and once the duration is smaller, it happens faster.
right.
So speed divided by 3.
Cool.
And one last thing, actually, let's do the entire anime. Oh, you can see it wag the tail.
Yeah.
Let's do the entire speed. We did it 1 second, but I think it's slow. It's a bit slow, so let's do it like 1.75 or 1.8 seconds.
Where did I put that?
The speed, no, we put it up there.
Yeah, just like kind of in the
Yep,
middle still. So you said 1.8? No, you said just
1.70, 0.75. I think it's enough, because right now it's a bit slow in my opinion. Again, these are the things that you can fine tune. Yeah, now it looks even better.
it looks so happy. I don't know
And
why it looks happy. I just chat.
why
This is a
not?
happy horse. No, but I mean like
It is
it's a
happy.
stick horse. How am I judging its emotions? It feels happy. I don't know. I think it's the head because he likes speed. Marlon, absolutely. Marlon, good to see you. Yeah, this is
Uh,
great.
so we can actually add another animation to the tail itself,
Okay.
so it can wig. It can like go up and down and to the sides. So this is the last animation on the horse itself. So right here on line 266, let's add another animation,
Okay.
uh, and let's call it tail.
Let's do. Can I
Copy
grab
it.
most of this? Cool. Speed.
Yeah, but here, yeah, you see, let's leave it on in the regular speed,
Okay.
and here in the tail itself, we're rotating the rotate Z. So let's copy this one, and from in the two, let's have rotate for like 140 or 130 even. So now it's wiggles up and down, and
That's
you know
cool.
what? Actually, it's supposed to be the other way around. So let's do it from 130 to 160. Sorry,
Cool.
I'm
It's all good. Nice. Okay. Nice.
yeah. And yeah, so this is a horse
It
that
is.
runs.
It is.
Uh
Thanks for the
yeah,
follow,
so the
Thomas. This
last
is awesome.
do we have more time?
Yeah, 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 yeah. Just what?
The people
Absolutely.
in the chat are still with us. So
Yeah.
the last thing that I said, but again, I'm actually kind of pleased with the results so far. Again, as I said, a lot of fine tuning can be done, should be done, but this is the general idea. But what is missing is the shadows and the movement of the floor. We have to add those things. Actually, shadows is the way for our mind to to connect things in the 3D space. And like right now, when the horse is running on a static floor,
Yeah.
it's something that doesn't click in our mind.
Yeah.
So the first thing that we need to do,
I totally get it.
yeah, you can see it's a small shadows, but it is makes, as I said, when you're working with animation, you those little things does make the difference. So let's go to the floor. There is a floor set floor oh
Should we
yeah,
clean
we
up this stuff first?
we need to remove all of the width 2 pixels. We need to remove it,
Yeah.
and the background color, and oh, I forgot about the background colors.
Oh, good. I left it in there. All right. Background color. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Cool. So, Chad, if you weren't here for that, that was just us building out the rig, and then we added more elements inside in order to kind of create this 3D effect. But now we don't need this anymore. It's actually throwing off the size of it a
The
little bit.
alignment of
Yeah.
it's sort of the alignment of the eye
Yeah. Just a
elements
couple pixels, but it
inside.
matters. Cool. Should be good now. All right.
Great. So right there on the bottom, we have a floor selection.
Yes.
Excuse me,
Cool.
floor selector. And first thing we need to do is just add an animation to the floor. And by the way, let's take a look of what we're seeing there. There's a background image of a repeating linear gradient, just of a line, a white line, FFF line of 2 pixels, and then a gap of 2 EMs. Okay. So what we need to do is just animate the background position, the X background position. So let's have an animation, call it a floor. The speed, the duration should be obviously speed, infinite, and the movement should be linear. The timing function should be linear, exactly.
Cool.
And let's add a keyframes. And over here, I think we can add just the 2. And let's make a 2 of a background position X. X.
Like that?
Cool. Yep, exactly. And it moves roughly 12 or 13 EMs. Let's do 13 EMs. And yeah, I actually can't see it through the streaming.
It's tough to see, I'm sure, from the screen here. I'm gonna hold on.
No, let's just change it to 12 because I think because the width of the, I don't know if it goes very well. Let's leave it in 12 for now.
Okay.
Okay, and the last thing that we need to do is add shadows. So this is why I didn't want to change the color, because I wanted the shadows.
I just want to do it for that part, and now it's back. I just put it.
Okay.
Just so the chat can see those lines moving a little clearer.
Just so to, if it would be like an animation that I would like to publish, the first thing that I would do is to change the speed to like 10 seconds, and actually see the leg movement, and to see that the leg is moving according to the floor, and to, like,
slow
it down.
Got it.
You can go to the speed right now and slow it down and see it. But again, this is the fine-tuning part. It can take hours, it can take days. It depends how much animations you have. Actually, we do have a lot of animations here, but it's okay.
Yeah.
So the last thing is shadows, and we don't have any shadow divs right now. So let's go back to the HTML. We're going to add one more thing right beneath the you know what, let's add it right inside of the floor. Inside of the floor, let's have a shadows div, shadows in plural.
Cool.
Because the shadows would be the, I'm going to have a 4 shadows, one for each leg, that's going to move with the leg, but it's going to move outside of the platform. And when it moves outside of the platforms, I want the shadows to be the shadows div to be the parameter that the shadows won't go outside of it.
Cool.
So inside of the shadows, let's add 4 divs, just regular divs.
Cool. And Life is here. Life, great to see you. Thank you for being sub for all this time. Really appreciate you, buddy. Great to have you here. Hope your day's going great. Life, I'm not sure if for the next show we're gonna be doing like Blender 3D stuff or just using this horse. We'll decide later. But we've got 2 3D horses now in the mix. Life, we need to make a choice, but we'll chat about it for sure.
I think the horses that Life can make looks a bit better.
They're incredible, right? Yeah.
Yeah. But again, the nice thing about CSS animations is not just the way it looks; it's the way the code looks. If it makes sense, at least for me.
It's just it's a lot of fun.
So let's finish it up. Let's go right in the end. Let's add a shadows div selector.
Cool.
And again, I said the shadows should be the parameter. So let's give it a width of 100%, a height of 100%, and a border radius of 50%. So it would be actually just like the platform that is like the floor that it is on. Cool. And we're going to give it an overflow of hidden. So when things would go outside of it, they won't see it.
Cool.
And let's add one more thing. Let's add a background image. Of radial gradient. because I want like a center shadow. Okay, so let's start with a hashtag 000, like black, comma, like 0000. So 4 zeros, it's transparent,
So
and add
that
fifty
fourth
percent
one is the alpha, correct?
is the alpha, exactly.
Cool.
So RGB alpha, and not comma. Let's add 50%, and yeah, and actually it's obviously way too dark. Just I want you to see it, but let's add for the first value. Let's add like a 5, so it's 0005. Again, 5 is the alpha channel. 5 is just roughly
Cool.
30%.
Cool.
Okay, so this is like the main shadow, and again we have 4 divs, and each one of those divs is going to be like a shadow of the leg itself. So let's, inside of the shadows, let's have end div or end bigger than div. It's the same thing. And now we do need to add a position absolute for them because the shadows is outside of the stick horse. If you
Cool.
remember, we said everything that is inside the stick horse has a position absolute, right?
Right.
But this is
This isn't
outside
getting
of
that.
the div. Yeah. And let's position them. So let's do a left 50%, top 50%, and a transform of minus 50%, minus 50%. So it would be all in the middle. Let's. Am I?
Oh,
Are you with me?
I missed the last one. Sorry.
Yeah. So I said let's say the transform or
Cool.
translate minus 50%, minus 50%, just so everything is going to be in the middle. In the old days, before we had grid and flex, this is the way we centered everything. But now we still do it in animations. And let's have a width and a height of, let's make it big, like 20 ems, each one of them.
Cool.
And actually, this pretty much the same background image.
Okay. Let's copy
Um,
this over.
you know what? Look, let's, yeah, okay, let's do let's copy it.
Or we're gonna do something else.
Um, no,
I'm intrigued.
I thought about something. I thought about, because
Inherit or something.
again, when I normally do it, before I start working with things that have like gradient, what I would do is just give him like 2em and 2em size and a background color of black. That's why that way you would see just this black circle. Oh, by the way,
Okay.
you do need to add a border radius of 50%.
Cool. Good call. I'm up for doing that if it helps us kind of like see it more.
Okay, so let's have a background color of like a dark color,
Yeah.
and let's change the size of each one of them, like to much smaller. Let's like 5 ems.
And so this is gonna help us position them for those leg strikes.
Exactly,
Right?
and then later on we're gonna make them bigger and with gradient, and that would be the idea.
Cool.
But for now it's okay. Maybe even 5. Maybe it's even too small, but it's okay.
Okay.
And now we're gonna add an animation, obviously.
All right.
So a few things. We're gonna need to push each one of them both on the y-axis, on the y-axis to move it forward, and on the x-axis to move it on the sides, right? If it makes sense. Because
Do the legs go side
we
to
spread
side?
the arms. Yeah, because we spread the arms, so I want to move them. So let's do.
Oh yeah.
You know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
I
actually
forgot that the legs
before.
tuck in. Cool.
Yeah, they move. So let's do like in the animation. Well, that's actually going to be a bit weird. I think about doing something before the animation. Okay, let's give it a transform. We already have a transform up there. Excuse me.
Okay.
Let's first add a translate y with a custom property of ty.
Of what Y?
Of ty transform custom property.
Oh, okay.
Var.
TY. Cool.
Yeah.
Var.
But
sorry.
you do need.
I'm catching
Yeah.
up. I'm catching up.
I'm sorry.
Cool.
It's me. I know it's me. Yeah. And now we need to give the left hand and the left arm minus 2 ems roughly, and so let's do like an nth child of 1.
Okay,
Here, yeah,
so
right, exactly where you are. Nth child of 1. let's give it a ty of minus 2em. So this is the hand,
Okay.
and yeah, and number 2 and nth child 2 is gonna be 2em. Yep, and we actually you can copy it the same thing, and we're gonna have nth child 3 and 4.
Okay. Cool. Let's do these.
So now this is like the left leg, the right leg, the left arm, the right arm, the left leg, the right leg. Make sense?
Yes. So okay. So each one is
But
tied to. Okay. Okay. Yes. I'm getting it, and I'm seeing it here. So we have the left and the right, and then we're gonna have to also bring them back. So like
yeah,
we've
so the
separated them
next
to the
thing that we need
side.
to do,
Cool.
yeah, so the next thing that we need to do is to give each one of them an x. We need to translate it on the x axis,
I
right?
guess I can just
But we're
tuck
gonna
this in
animate
here.
it.
Right. I don't know why I made a new translate there. That works, right? Yeah.
Well, yeah,
No.
actually,
Yeah.
that's smarter, actually.
Oh. It's the first time anyone's ever said that. Thank you.
No, because you need to
No.
have a calc of minus 50% plus var.
Can we do it in here? I mean, I just saw that we had the double translate. That's the only reason why I was trying to. Cause I
Okay.
wasn't
So
sure
you
what
can
this.
do what you've done,
Cool.
but what happens here is that you translate minus 50%, and you then translate it at the var of ty. So
Oh, we need to
instead of
do
it,
both.
a calc.
Interesting.
Yeah, you need to do have both.
Oh, okay.
Because
I thought that this was going to get overwritten by this. So we're
no, when
translating
you
it
add
twice.
a transform function, so if I'll do translate one pixel, translate one pixel, translate, so it would move one pixel every time. It won't overwrite the first one.
I'm learning so much today. This is I assumed that yeah, like the last one or the first one would take precedence and that would be it. I didn't
No,
realize this.
actually,
Thank you.
what I've done here, it's just something that I do like out of habit. Like I first translate minus 50%, and then what I'm trying to do it. But what you said is actually correct. You delete the translate y,
Okay.
and add the calc to the regular translate. It's actually
Cool.
smarter.
I mean it was accidentally smarter because I didn't know how it worked. So my wait, minus 50. No, wait,
Plus,
I'm doing the wrong thing. Hold on. There we go.
no, it's
So
okay. Plus, no, you're fine.
plus negative 50.
Oh,
I was going the other way. Yeah, I'm all
uh,
scattered. There we go.
yeah, but instead of plus minus 50, you could just do minus 50.
That's a good point. See? Shouldn't there you go. Is that gonna work now? Does something doesn't like something else? I think I'm
Yeah,
missing a parenthesis.
yeah, yeah.
Cool. All
Yep.
right, we stumbled
Now
into
it's
correctness. Shoo.
great. So now what we need to do is to animate the X, the X translate. Okay. Um, and we're gonna do it. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna add each one of those childs two X values because we need the start value and the end value of each one of them.
Cool.
Okay. So let's do the front, the nth one and the second one. We'll have a tx1 of like 1em because it's 1em, it's right near the middle when the hands are close.
Okay.
Okay, and the tx2 would be far away. Let's say 16 pixels. Excuse me, minus 16 pixels because it's on the front.
Do we want to switch the pixels for this one, or just
Not pixel, EMs. Excuse me, EM.
all good?
I meant
All
EM.
good.
Minus 16, maximum minus 16 EM. I'm sorry, I meant
Cool.
to say.
All good. Just checking.
Okay.
There we go. Cool.
And on the third and fourth childs, we're gonna actually do it a bit on the other way around. So it's from minus 1 to plus. Well, here the legs goes a bit less than 16. So let's say from minus 1 to 13.
Minus 1 to 13, not
Yeah.
negative, right? So just regular. Cool.
Yeah, because it goes to the other side, but
Cool.
less than 16. So yeah, it's something like that.
Okay.
Okay. And now we can add the animation. So let's
Okay.
go back on top and have an animation. Let's call it shadows or whatever you want to call it.
Speed.
Again, should have speed. You can already add a var delay with um, a var, a custom property of a delay, because we're gonna set each one of them a different delay.
Cool. Okay,
Yeah,
that makes sense.
but add
SVA here.
0. Yeah,
Oh,
a
and
default value of
0 seconds
zero
as the default.
seconds.
Cool.
Yeah, ease in out, infinite, alternate, as always.
Cool.
Okay,
And
and in the
keyframes.
keyframes, yeah. So in again, add a from and a to, and each of them copy the transform that we already have in line 354.
Cool.
But after in the end there, we're gonna add a translate. Translate of x. Yeah,
Oh,
okay, you can do it here.
down here. No, it's
No,
okay.
no, no. You should do
Okay.
it as you
I
were
think it's
about to
easier
do
to
it.
read your way, but I'm happy to do it
Yeah,
this.
yeah. No, actually, I kind of liked it. As I
Okay.
said, just doing it. Um. So no, like var tx1 to var tx2.
Oh, so this one should be 2, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Cool. Minus 50. Thank you for the follow,
Exactly.
Gallo. Welcome. Great to have you here.
I think you're missing a parenthesis there.
Yeah.
No. Excuse me. No.
Got that one. Got that one.
It
Yeah, I
was my
think
mistake.
we're good with that.
Yeah,
Put
just
this
change
one.
it. The first one to tx1,
Cool.
and now everything is supposed to move. Except
Wow.
okay. And the last thing that we need to do, sort of last thing is set the delays. So let's
Okay.
give each one of those nth child. Yeah. So again, a delay. As we said, the delay add hashtag parentheses speed divided by 3. Yeah. And so, and here you do need to do some a little trial and error, but I think here you need to multiply it by -1 or -2.
Okay. Inside the delay still.
Yeah,
Here.
yeah.
So
So the first
times.
one, like add a -2 times -2 exactly. The last, why isn't it working? Why is it
That's what I'm trying to figure out. What doesn't it like?
undefined
Oh,
operation?
speed doesn't have a dollar sign in
Oh,
front of it.
yeah.
Whoops. Did it again. All right, there we go. Cool. Much better. All right, so we see it working there already.
Okay, so you can actually already see the left leg pretty much synced, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Actually, it looks okay. So if it looks okay, so that's okay. So we know that the next one is -3 exactly, and the next one after that is -4.
Now it's out of sync though, isn't it?
Well,
I think.
let's do all 4 of them, and then
All
we'll
right, cool.
find out what's the problem. So times -4, and the last one is just like the second leg. So no, it's -3. It's supposed to be -3.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Are we missing? Whoa, we're missing
I think
out
they're out of
something.
order. So I think we got lucky that first time by these both being a -2 because that one worked. Nope. No, none of them are working there. Huh. All right. Should we just do? It's tough when there's
I'm
4 of them going at the
trying.
same time, you know? Should we just try to
Yep.
get one done?
Why is it upside down? Oh, I know. No, wait. That's weird. Because
Yeah.
the first one was like pretty
It seems
okay.
yeah, it seems like it was fine the first time we did it. Are they inheriting? Are they stacking? I'm just gonna comment these out because it seemed fine before we added all those. But I don't know how that would do it. Nope, still weird. All right. So should we fix these translates and go back to the way
Wait,
that you had it? That might be throwing this off.
Mm, you know what? Let me. Can I send you something in the chat for a
Yeah,
second?
absolutely. Absolutely.
So I'll send it to you in our chat.
Okay. All right.
It's the entire animations.
Cool.
It's the same thing. Oh no, there's a lot of things that we didn't talk about.
Well, I can paste it
Yeah,
in
but
and then
it's
so change this shadow, or I know I'll keep yours and change that. There we go. All right, so I'm gonna hit save and then see if we can format this. We
yeah,
can talk
okay. So
about
now
that.
you can see that this leg is synced.
Oh, we have a TX and a
Yeah,
TX1
yeah.
and a
No,
TX2.
yeah. But you can remove the TX.
Okay,
Just
cool.
remove it.
Yeah,
We really don't need it.
cool,
This was just a regular phase, and
cool.
and I did added an
Okay, that's
opacity. If you can see
perfect
that when
now.
it's far away, I added opacity. Yeah, but now this is just one. Now add all the other four divs.
Yes, good call. Yeah, that looks great now. I wonder what changed.
Yeah, I don't know because there was exactly the same values. So, but now
Wow.
you can actually see.
All
Okay, so now
right.
you can actually see the shadow follows each one of the legs, right?
Yeah, let's bring
So now
back that
let's go.
radial gradient.
Yeah, let's bring it back. Yeah, no, it's in line.
Here we go.
Remove line 354. Instead of it, let's have
354. Yeah, I got rid of
358.
that.
Excuse me,
All good.
and add the background image of radial gradient. Yep. Actually, do it like instead of 50%, change it to 66% and make it bigger. Instead of 5 em, make it 20 ems because I want
Cool.
like bigger shadows. And yeah, let's make it instead of 005, let's make it 003.
Cool.
So to be a
The
bit lighter.
shadows feel kind of big, I feel like, but maybe not. Maybe this.
Okay, so yeah, maybe you can make it smaller or lighter or whatever you want, but
Oh
maybe try
god.
like
This
16 or
is
15 amps each one of them. But this is again
that's just so
the
cool the
general
way
idea. This
that
is where
like
we
that
start to.
works. Yeah, just like wrapping my head around how I would even do that. Now it makes a lot more sense. You tie everything to one speed variable, and yeah, that's and then so some of this was timing where you had to kind of figure out exactly when you wanted something to strike and where it needed to be. That's just really interesting. This came out so cool.
Thank you.
Chat, we've got shadows and like a track that it's running on, and it can rotate. We can turn it around. Like, it's just really neat. Oh, chat, check this out. Brett had to hop off, but yeah, Amit, following you on Twitch. Excited to catch you streaming. Hopefully, I mean, it's the several people have asked for you to start streaming just today. Now add scenery. Yes, if we could add some birds, maybe just add an entire ranch out of 3D CSS, that'd be perfect.
Yeah, yeah,
Don't
yeah.
don't challenge
So
him, chat.
this is no, this is yeah, it's your challenge. Each of you should select a farm animal, and together we'll build a CSS farm. I think it's a great idea. Yeah.
That'd be amazing. That would be amazing. Chat, just check it out. Like this came out so great. Uh, really
Thank you,
amazing
Cynthia.
techniques. Like just the I don't think I had the inheritance part. I think that's such a powerful thing that I don't take advantage of enough, where the spine is the parent of everything and it
Yeah,
all
if
stems
you
from
go if
that.
you go back to the claw
The claw, yes, yes, yes. Let me
div,
pull that up.
you could see that I actually used that enhance. So look at like at the base. So the base one, it has a size, and then each one of them is like 95% of the one beneath that. So you
Got
can
it.
get like a nice little size, and the claw themselves, each of them is 101% bigger than the next one. So it actually looks
Oh.
nice.
Got it. So as we go up, it's a smaller percentage than 100%. So it shrinks, 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 shrinks. and
Yeah,
then it does the reverse as you step out. Let me
exactly.
find that. Probably do no. Oh, we not. Oh, all inherit.
It's.
That's such a wait.
I think
Are we not?
it's somewhere.
We might not be doing.
Um, if you want, let me just look
I'll
for it
do
for a
it.
second.
Oh, we're not doing the inherent all trick here. That's interesting. Um,
Yeah, you can see the eye width. There is
got it.
a variable called eye width that is here it's 80%, and in the other in line 134 it's 136. It's 120%. So it changes according to the one after that.
That's really cool. That just adds such a
Thanks.
great effect. Um, yeah. Do you want to put your version of the horse live so that we can share it with the chat, or make it public? That'd be awesome.
Yeah, I will. I do need to clean some things that I just saw over time, but I
No
will
worries.
put it later on today in obviously on my Twitter,
Cool.
so you can be there and check it out.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's it.
Let's drop that Twitter chat. Like, please throw some confetti up. Please give Amit a big round of applause. This is just such a like you're always
Thank
so
you.
creative with this stuff. I I I was gonna tell chat like earlier, don't tell him that he can't do something because you said like right like if someone says that, but I want chat to absolutely say you can't do blank. I want chat to just throw ideas and challenges at you because I don't think that there's anything that you've like come up against that you haven't figured out some way of doing it so far because the stuff you've got in
Well,
your code pen.
actually, you can look on small things like actually the last one like I made yesterday, the ball illusion.
Yeah.
It took me a long time to figure out. It has nothing. It doesn't have any animations. Just
Yeah.
it's a
It's
completely
cool.
2D. But it took me a long time to understand how do I paint something like that looks like that. And sadly, yesterday, it's like, oh, I can use a mixed blend mode. So each one of those divs are just white divs, but each one of them has a mixed blend mode. So when you put them on top of each other, you get a checkerboard.
No, that's what you're doing here?
Yeah,
Because, yeah, I'm staring at it.
yeah.
I'm going, how is he doing this? I did not have it at all.
So it's just you see, it's just 10 elements, and they're all white, but they all have a mixed blend mode of difference. So once you have a difference of white on white, so it's black. You see, they're all white. They have a mixed blend mode of difference.
Wait, are you.
So yeah,
Hold on. Chat, we can't go until we figure this one out because this one's still warping my brain a little bit. Back, a mixed blend mode different.
if you want to understand it better, no, let's go to the ball itself. The ball, uh, there is a yeah exactly, and
Okay.
remove the overflow hidden.
Okay, that kind
No,
of helps.
remove the
Overflow
overflow
hidden.
hidden. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, okay. So what you see here, there's a lot of divs. Again, they're all white, but you see them like white, black because they're ellipse. That one is smaller than the other. And
Oh.
again, because they're one inside of the other, or one on top of the other, so the next one looks black, the next one looks white, the next one looks black, and so on.
Got it. Okay. I think I'm seeing it now. So,
And the ball, all the ball does is just overflow hidden, so everything is just hidden.
got it. Okay. Okay. There's one div right there.
Yeah.
Wow. That is so clever. I did not
and
have that at
and
all.
this is actually this concept of creating this effect. I had it for it looks good like this.
Right? This is like a
Like this.
3D warpy kind of thing. I'm
Yeah,
actually liking
this
this a
is
lot.
warpy. Me
That's
too.
that's really cool. Through debugging, we're
Yeah.
like,
So
oh, this is a new style.
yeah. So again,
That's
I thought
fun.
about this concept of like how do I crack this for a very long time, and then yesterday I'm like, oh yeah, I know what I'm supposed to do. Oh, this looks better.
This is cool. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
neat. And then you can do it on the other side. Yeah. Wow, that is a really clever solution. But yeah, like uh really clever solutions to tricky problems. Chat, please throw difficult problems his way because we get really cool solutions out of it. I would have never had this. Captain says products that blow up and show the inside parts. A phone, for example. Oh, that would be neat. Like an iPhone coming apart, showing all the chips and everything inside. That would be really
I
cool.
actually think I saw an animation of a phone, of an explode phone, like explode the parts. And I remember, I don't remember who was it that did like a DOM element, like all of the layers of. I should find it. It was a long time ago. But yeah, it's great ideas. Keep throwing them, and if I
Yeah.
find something that I can do, I will do it.
Yeah. You can find him on Twitter. He's in the Discord. He's in the chat pretty much every stream. I do have to say thank you so
I
much
try.
for just always being here. You're always one of the first two people to drop by. You have about 50,000 points just from
30,
watching. So
36.
36. Okay, 36,000 points.
Yeah.
Something for Summer Spectacular. Yeah, that would be fun. That would be super fun. Yeah. So always great to have
That,
you on, and you're going to be on Ben Meyer's show in just a month. So we're going to do one more shout out. Ben DMYERS. I think that's your thing. I think so. Ben Myers. Nope. Is it just Ben Myers? I apologize, Ben, if I sent you the wrong way. Tactics, thank you, and Mike, thank you. His YouTube channel. Oh yes. Oh no, you don't have a YouTube channel, do you?
I do, but I don't upload content on my
Got it.
YouTube channel. But if I do have like a YouTube playlist,
Cool.
so and I do update this playlist on every video I'm doing, and I'm doing a lot of lectures. Not all of them are in English. I'm sorry, but
Awesome.
actually, yeah, I am going to be on Ben Myers next month.
Yeah.
I'm going to be on Kevin Powell's next week on Twitch, and Kevin Powell's Twitch channel. We're going to do a live AMA session on CSS animations, and I hope I'm going to be on Stephanie's channel about sometime soon.
Awesome.
Yeah, so I'm doing a lot of talks lately, and conferences and meetups, and if you know of a conference or a meetup that you want me to speak at, give me a
Let him
call.
know. Awesome. Well,
Yeah.
last thing. I'm not going to let you leave until you plug your workshop. You have a workshop coming up too.
Yeah.
Where can I find it?
Yeah. So I'm can I
Drop
put
it
it in
in.
the
Drop it
chat?
in.
Yeah, so I
Yes.
dropped it in.
Cool.
So after a long time that I've been working on it, and a lot of people asked me to do it, but I finally felt like I'm ready, that I do have enough content, valuable content, to do my own smashing workshop. It's a fully hands-on workshop, 4 full days. And you see what we've done in 2 hours. So in 4 days, we'll
Yeah.
do a bit more. The first day is all about the understanding what perspective is, um, how to position things in a 3D world, in a CSS 3D world. The second day is all about movement, animations, transform, multi-step transform, syncing animations, and so on. The third day is about control, just like what we've seen in the buttons. So how
Cool.
do you control animations with mouse movements and inputs and so on. And the fourth day is like putting it all together, fully like live coding workshop of live animations with a lot of elements, a lot of animations, and it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be great. I
Yeah.
am working on it for a long time. It just got published today, specifically for your show.
Wow. Hey,
Yeah,
chat.
so
Share this out, please. Share this out. Let everyone
yeah,
know that this is
please,
happening.
please
Yeah.
help me out, share it out. You can actually sign up if you want to, and yeah, thank you. I hope to see you there. It is a great, I think it's a great workshop. It's the kind of workshop that I want to be in.
That's
That's
awesome.
the bottom line.
Yeah. Chat, just kind of speaking in general about how these kinds of things work. When these kinds of things, uh, sell out and get lots of people showing up, it's a lot easier for Amit to then go and do other ones, or do like a second, more advanced one, or just do lots of things like this. So please, if you love this kind of stuff, this kind of like fun web stuff for like how can we push the web into
Well,
fun areas, support this kind of thing.
actually, two small things.
Yeah.
First of all, I do start at the very basics. So if you don't know anything, it's still okay.
Great point.
And I am focusing on real life usable elements, so like 3D buttons, 3D checkboxes, info cards, inputs, and things like that you can actually go and use on the real world, not just 3D horses. Oh, it's fun to make 3D horses. Oh, let's make a 3D checkbox that you can actually use. I
Awesome.
actually done a 3D checkbox. I don't know if you remember, that got a
I
lot of traction a couple of months ago.
You make so many things. I don't. I only have so much space in my brain. I might remember. I might not. But you are prolific, my friend. Yeah. Just
I can actually show it to you if you want to, because the 3D checkboxes I made was actually kind of nice. I kind of liked it.
would it
Uh,
be cool if we dropped
if,
in the chat? We are out of time. Is the only thing.
okay. So no.
Would that be cool?
Yeah,
Sorry to cut you
yeah.
off. I mean,
I'm gonna drop it in the chat right now, just so you
that'd be
can
great.
see
And
it.
Adrian, there might I don't know anything about parity purchasing in terms of smashing, but maybe that's a question for smashing. It's just because it's through them. Amit wouldn't have the power, I would assume.
What?
Parity purchasing. So in other words, um,
Hmm.
different countries paying different prices, right? So that sort of
Yeah,
thing.
I
But
don't
this
know
was
about
so
that.
detailed. I don't know. I'm just excited for this. But thank you so much
Yeah.
for being here, chat. Thank you again. I really appreciate you all being here. Let's raid someone. Let's find someone to raid. And Amit, thank you again for being here. If you have any more questions,
Thank you.
join
Thank
the
you for having
Discord.
me. No.
Amit
Yeah.
is always around, always happy to hang out. And Lone Curiosity, thank you for the follow. Thursday, we have our friend Killian Valkoff coming on over to teach us all about media queries, like deep media queries, not just the viewport width or height, but like deep stuff. So be here Thursday. Follow if you're not already, and I'll see you all soon. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys.